Hey guys, what's up? We are Cautiously Optimistic, and today we are going to be talking about Hero Academia.
We already talked a little bit about it in the summer 2016 anime season discussion, but we just watched the first 3 episodes now to get Matt kind of caught up on it.
And it's amazing so
But
far.
we're going to talk about how the this origin story of Deku, Izuku, Midoriya kind of squares up against other ones, and how well it worked out, and kind of like what it could have done better, what it is, and kind of compare it to maybe like Marvel, I suppose.
Quirks? I don't know. What?
Captain Quark?
Captain Quark? So if you guys don't know what Hero Academia is about, it's about a world full of people who have quirks.
Matt doesn't know how to say it.
I can't say it. And the main character, unfortunately, is born without a quirk. Even though that is in his way, he still wants to become a hero, and it's just the first 2 episodes just kind of tackle that of his origin story and how he eventually becomes a hero. So the big thing that differs from a lot of anime for main characters of like this kind of like archetype is that he doesn't have any powers. In shows like Naruto, which was like the first thing that I thought about, Naruto has always been amazingly like talented. He can basically do like any jutsu that comes his way, like abnormally quick.
Well,
and stuff like
Naruto can't do that. What are you talking about? In the beginning of Naruto, he can't even do clone jutsu.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it just randomly happens.
I think it's very much like the beginning of Naruto feels a lot of what am I thinking of? Sports anime, where it's like the popular thing is the overdog posing as the underdog.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, Naruto's the best, but we're gonna start out making you feel like he's the worst.
Yeah. Which I guess that's why I thought.
Yeah,
he just can do whatever.
But
because in Shippuden he can do whatever.
Yeah, the difference is that Naruto has it from the start, but there are very similar kind of arcs, is where like they only get where they are because they work harder than anyone else. Because like Naruto to Sasuke, or like Midoriya to his childhood friend rival Bakugo. The talented one versus the person who doesn't have as much talent, necessarily known talent. They have to work 10 times harder to keep up. And that's a big theme in Hero Academia as far as Midoriya, or Deku, as he's known, his development. But if we're speaking of origin stories as far as heroes, it's like Spider-Man gets bit by a radioactive spider,
and he was a loser.
It's a complete accident. Iron Man, he makes a suit because he gets captured in Iraq or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Hero Academia has the most kind of parallels with Captain America. Because if you look at Captain America, he wants to be a soldier, right? Which is like Midoriya wanting to be a hero, and he works really hard, harder than anyone else, and he has an inherent heroism.
Yeah.
Because the reason that Midoriya gets his quirk from All Might, One for All.
Yeah.
Is because Kachan Bakugo is attacked by a villain who can jump into your body and kind of possess you, and Bakugo's resisting, and all the heroes, they try to fight it, but no one can beat it because of the quirks that they have don't really match up with the villain, so they can't really help him in any way. And they're just like, well, someone's gonna come and save you. We're just gonna have to control the damage until someone comes.
Which was fucked
and
up.
And Midoriya is just standing there, and he's even thinking someone's gotta come and save him. And All Might, who's used up all of his power for the day, he's standing there going, I'm pathetic, someone's gotta come. But Midoriya is the one who, even at that point, who's quirkless, runs in to save him.
Yeah.
And like his body moves on his own. And he's just like, why are you helping me? He's like, because I thought you needed saving.
Right.
And it reminded me a lot of the scene in Captain America where like to test him, like the guy or the commander like pulls the grenade, and like what does Captain America do? He jumps on the grenade, like without thought. And like that was like a very similar kind of thing. Like their first instinct is to save people.
Yeah.
To their own sacrifice.
Yeah. And he even says like that Bakugo looked like he was saying "help me," and I guess that just comes in like it could have just been through his eyes, through his movement, whatever. But you know, Deku just came out and saved him. So it's he just has that normal like hero comic book type feel, which is cool, and it's not something you commonly see in anime.
Yeah.
It's powerless.
To kind of go into something else, what did you think? Because when we were sitting here watching it, you like during episode 2, you asked me, so how is he gonna do it? Like, is he gonna like be a support to the heroes? Is he gonna help them? How does your opinion of the show change now knowing that Midoriya does get a quirk?
My opinion of the show changes that I think that he's going to be like one of the best heroes.
Like, how does your expectations of the show change? Like, cause you does it seem less unique now?
No, it still seems unique because of his origin story.
Okay.
But it definitely lost something there for me to be like, oh, well, like, it was just kind of like one of those moments where I was like, oh, well, he's just going to be the top hero. Like, that's how it's going to end.
Yeah, for me...
Kind of like how, Naruto's going to become the Hokage when he...
But even he said this is the story of how he became the greatest hero. So you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, like, for me, when I was watching it when it was airing, it was kind of like, oh, this guy doesn't have a quirk. That's pretty interesting. Like, what's going to happen? Because I didn't read them. I'm reading the manga currently. I'm not caught up. But, so, like, Deku kind of seemed like, where is this going? And then he gets his quirk. And I'm like, okay, what's his quirk? Oh, he's just super strong. Like, it just didn't seem, it just kind of, there's more to One for All than just super strength. But it just kind of seemed like,
the whole One for All thing was really interesting because like it was something that was inherited, so it makes it seem like people without quirks like could actually get one at that point, which
in this one very specific way.
Yeah, in this one very specific way. And I just thought it was unique. It was definitely a twist that I didn't see really coming. I was just kind of like, well, how is he gonna do this, you know? And what really like, you know, I didn't really think of it as super strength, like, oh, whatever, like you kind of did, because he even mentions that like his quirk is very debated and like what it is, and he doesn't even talk about it because he like dodges the question all the time. Yeah, All Might always dodges the question. So to me, that was super unique, and that made me want to keep watching. Like, okay, so there's more to this quirk than just being like super fast, super strong, able to do like basically everything.
And I think like it's better this way, even though they kind of like get away from it really quick of Midoriya being like quirkless, because like, you know, from the start he's quirkless. It would have been a way different show if he would have just had it like a quirk from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe like it was weaker, and when he got to a certain point, it just kind of like ballooned out, and he was way better than they thought he was. But like this way, like there's a lot of repercussions as far as like at least his mental state, as far as how he sees himself and how he sees his quirk, because of the fact that he knows what it's like to be weak and to be quirkless and to be helpless.
And that makes him unique in that sense. And that's probably why All Might was such a good hero and wanted to keep peace, because he was probably useless before that.
I don't know yet. I do know that All Might was also quirkless.
Yeah. Well.
But I don't. Like, I haven't read far enough to know that.
Right.
But one thing that it also that's like a really interesting thing for his character, and kind of like thing that makes him more unique than like say Bakugo, who's been the best for his entire life.
Right.
But there's also an interesting development that happens with Bakugo as the series goes on, because like as you'll find out when we're gonna watch episode 4 after this video, but in the training exam, like they find out that Deku's got a quirk, you know, and Bakugo is like, you have a quirk, you've been like, we're childhood friends, you've been lying, like you've been lying to me, you've been hiding your quirk from me. It's like, and he like, it's a really strong, it's powerful, and he's like Deku, Bakugo immediately has like the like inferiority complex, like beating like down his ego, because Bakugo spent his entire life being told that he's the best.
Right.
You know.
So he was like,
and like Deku, he has that nickname because Deku means like worthless. That's what it means, pretty much. In so many words. So he's like, you're the worthless one. You can't do anything. You're weak. You know.
And he's like, well, obviously not, bitch.
So what does that mean for Bakugo? Like, because like his whole comparison on his strength is based on how weak Midoriya is.
Yeah, and that's really interesting. That's going to be something that's really interesting about this show too. How like his attitude changes too.
There's kind of like that. It's like I think it's a very similar thing, like in that, like, because that's the same thing with Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah, I was thinking about
like
Sasuke.
In the scene, right at the beginning of the Rescue Sasuke arc, where they do like the Chidori Rasengan into the 2 water stacks, and like Sasuke's like behind it, and like then you see the whole like giant blown out Rasengan.
Yeah, but that's only because Rasengan does that.
Yeah, but either way, like before he saw it, like it just looked like his whole arm went into his, and Naruto's just put a little dent, you know, into the front, and he's like, "You're still weaker than me, haha!" And then he like goes to run away, and he's behind him, and then he sees that Naruto's been completely blown at the backside, and that's like his wake up call for like, "Oh shit, what am I doing here?" And that's where he like goes.
Yeah, it's the origin story to me. Like this one is perfection.
It's really good.
It's really good, and a lot of people are just gonna be like, "Oh, it turns into a generic show."
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
I honestly don't. It's just something like you don't realize like what Midoriya is gonna go through now that he's been quirkless for his life, and now he has a quirk. How is he gonna explain that to people, and like how is he gonna deal with it? How is he gonna use it mentally? Like,
it's also like I was saying, like it's a strength that, or it's like interesting for him to be like he knows what it is to be weak, like kind of like Captain America.
Right.
But Deku. That is also his weakness, because one thing that he kind of has to struggle with is like he doesn't see it as all for one is my quirk, and like quirks are an extension, like a big thing that he learns, like quirks is an extension of your body. You need to to own it. You need to accept, take in and understand that it's a part of yourself and use it as if it's a part of yourself. And like Midoriya constantly sees it as, I'm using One for All Might's quirk. I'm using borrowed power. But he needs to get over that.
But because it's his
now.
Quirk now. Yeah. Huh. That's really interesting. And it's just like so different than a lot of like the origin like anime stories that you see. It really resembles a hero story.
Yeah.
Or a hero origin story. It's not like a Naruto, or not saying that Naruto's like origin story wasn't bad, because pre-Shippuden, fantastic. It's really good. But we're not going to get into that. It's not like its uniqueness reminds me more so of like Yu Yu Hakusho, like his origin story about like how him and he didn't really have powers, but then he dies and comes back and whatever.
Okay.
But, obviously they obtained it through different ways, and obviously they're going to deal with it in different ways. But it just, like, it's unique. That's, like, what I'm trying to get at, is, like...
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. Because, like, in the way that... Well, not in necessarily the way Yusuke gets his powers, but in the way he comes back to life.
Yeah.
Because, like, he gets the egg, right?
Yeah.
And the egg is based on, like, his, like, behavior and, like, his, like, feelings. And, like, if he's been putting negative energy into the egg, it's gonna hatch into a monster and devour him. But if it's good energy, it'll be a thing he can use to resurrect. And there's the scene where his body is in the burning building, and Keiko is like trying to like get him out and protect him.
Keiko, the original like waifu.
Yeah, and they're like, she's gonna die, and then they're like, you can throw your egg in there and save her, and it'll put out the demon, or the demon will hatch from the egg, and it will save Keiko, but you won't be able to resurrect. And he does it anyway, and he saved her like without
hesitation. Yeah.
And he eventually, of course, he does resurrect.
Yeah, because
his powers. And it's a very similar, like, a lot of like, it just seems like a very popular kind of trope in a way for like the hero to. It's a very like, you have to be heroic. You have to act without
heroic.
thought.
Yeah.
Like it has to be like deep ingrained into you. But I feel like there's like the trope in it is that the greatest hero is always the one who works way harder than anyone else. And I think like that's just like a big kind of like life thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That like anime is trying to, or anime and manga or like media in general is trying to push on people.
Trying to portray, they're trying to portray.
But yeah, I think that kind of covers our thoughts after just watching the first 3 episodes of Hero Academia real quick.
Yeah, Hero Academia is definitely something you don't want to look over. It's coming out next season, which
season 2, yeah.
Yeah, season 2.
Spring.
Which I was gonna say, spring has a ton of season 2s.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of rough, and we might make a video on that about season 2s soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was more of a discussion video. What are your thoughts about My Hero Academia and its origin story? Do you think it's fantastic, or do you think it's just generic? Do you think that it's stupid that he got powers? Do you think it's like predictable? So leave it in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit that like button. It helps us, of course. And thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time.
You know what my secret ending is for Naruto?
What?
The better ending is at the end of Rescue Sasuke when they're fighting at the Valley of the End.
Naruto dies.
Sasuke kills Naruto and then just leaves.
Goodbye.